Smart people avoid simple solutions, not because they're complex thinkers, because simple solutions remove excuses.
Most simple solutions are not intellectually insulting. They're emotionally threatening.
Smart people love complexity, frameworks, nuance, edge cases, long explanations. It looks like intellectual depth. A lot of the time it isn't. It's protection. Because simple solutions collapse optionality. They close escape routes. They remove future alibis. And that's the part smart people quietly resist.
You don't have to do it consciously. You just need to keep the problem not ready yet. So people add layers, more analysis, more data, more stakeholder input, more alignment, more scenarios. The problem doesn't require it. Commitment does.
This isn't about problems that are actually complex. It's about how often complexity is added after the solution is already visible.
A simple solution forces a clear outcome, and clear outcomes expose competence. If it works, you own it. If it fails, you own it.
Complexity spreads responsibility. Simplicity concentrates it. That's why simple solutions feel heavier. This is ego protection, not intelligence.
Self-handicapping explains a lot of this. Psychologically, self-handicapping is when people create obstacles or complexity in advance so failure can be blamed on circumstances instead of ability.
Ego threat research shows that people avoid situations where performance will be clearly attributable to them. When attribution is clean, status is on the line.
So people choose options that preserve ambiguity. This failed because the market changed. This didn't land because timing was off. We need more data before we decide.
The most dangerous overcomplication wears the mask of intelligence. It calls simple solutions naive to hide the fact it has none.
They use real intelligence to protect their self-image, not to solve the problem. Think about the last meeting where someone suggested something obvious and the room went quiet. Not because it was wrong, because everyone felt how exposed they'd be if it worked or failed.
Think about the last time you rejected a simple fix, not because it was wrong, because it felt too exposed, too final, too hard to walk back, too revealing if it didn't work.
So you asked for something more sophisticated and called it strategic. That's not complexity bias. That's fear-wearing vocabulary.
There's also identity fusion here. When your intelligence is your currency, your value depends on looking thoughtful, nuanced, indispensable.
Simple solutions threaten that identity. If the answer is obvious, what exactly are you being paid for? So people unconsciously escalate complexity to preserve relevance. The more senior people get, the worse this becomes. Because senior roles come with less feedback and more deference.
Fewer people challenge the added complexity. More people nod and call it insight. So complexity becomes a status signal. And simple solutions start to feel unserious.
They work. They just don't flatter. There's a brutal pattern here. The higher the personal cost of being wrong, the more elaborate the solution becomes.
Not more accurate, more defensible.
Right.
Because defensibility protects ego.
Right.
And simplicity removes it. This is why organizations get stuck in strategy loops.
Not because people don't see the path forward, because taking it would expose who actually owns the outcome. Simple solutions don't just reduce options, they reduce excuses. They remove the ability to say, we were almost there, we needed more time, the environment shifted.
They force a binary. It worked or it didn't. That's why smart people avoid them. Not because they love complexity, because they hate clean accountability.
And here's the part no one likes. Most complex thinking at work is emotional regulation, not problem solving.
It's a way to stay uncommitted while looking precise, to delay ownership while appearing strategic, to protect identity while calling it depth.
Simplicity threatens status more than it threatens intelligence. That's why it gets rejected first, not last.
If you notice yourself resisting a simple solution, pay attention to what you're actually protecting. It's rarely the quality of the idea. It's usually your future explanation if it fails. Most people aren't protecting intelligence. They're protecting the right to fail without being seen as the person who chose the wrong thing.